Abby, you and I were talking earlier. Like, this is not the first time Russia has tried this particular move. In fact, this is almost the exact same play they used 14 years ago.
Yeah. So 2008 Georgia, for those of you who are around, 2008 Georgia, this was basically the first rendition of what's going on right now. Georgia had two areas that were pro-Russian. They were separatist areas, backed by the Russians. And lo and behold, when tensions broke out between the Georgian government and these pro-Russian separatists, who steps in? Big brother Russia. And in the name of peace, ends up in the Georgia-Russia war of 2008. Massive damage, hundreds of thousands of refugees. What then turned into genocide of Georgians because the Ossetians then started massacring Georgians with the backing of Russians. But all of it, it's very much almost the same exact thing that has been going on now Russia's been using a lot of the same rhetoric we're trying to keep peace. We're trying to demilitarize Georgia and Ukraine. And, there's these large pro-Russian populations there that have to be protected.
Breakaway regions.
They're the breakaway regions that have to be protected from the local yaks who are trying to kill them. So we'll come in and kill them. It's absolutely insane. And I don't know why anyone's surprised by what Russia is doing because they've been doing this for literally all of history.
So the $1 million question here, as things kind of slow down in Ukraine and inertia kicks in, what does Vladimir Putin do if he gets stuck? Because they didn't think they were going to get stuck. They clearly thought this was going to be a blitzkrieg. They'd be in. They'd have Kyiv. They would have Zelensky either arrested or killed. They would have a puppet government. I think they thought by this time that would have happened, and it's nowhere near happening.
No.
What does Putin do? Because every day that passes without resolution, he's losing support at home and looking like a fool on the international stage, and he can't afford either of those things.
No, and he didn't have much support to begin with at home. I think that he'll end up trying to take the Donbass region, which is the pro-Russian separatist region of Ukraine. So I think he'll probably just end up backing out and be like, and these are mine now, as well as the Crimea. I'm going to take what I can.
We just wanted to make sure they were secured. That's why we pushed all the way in.
We just wanted to check in. We just wanted to check in with Kyiv we will make sure at the capital that they were doing okay. And
just some diplomatic discussions. That's all.
With tanks.
Remind them about our cluster munition capability. And then there's all of the nuclear rhetoric on top of that, that's an old Russian thing to rattle the nuclear saber early on,
all the time,
but rely on conventional forces. And
I think that they understand the consequences if they were to actually do something with nuclear weapons. I mean, we talk about what it would take to get somebody else involved in Europe or to get America involved. Obviously, that would do it, and I'm pretty sure that they know the limits of what they can and can't get away with. So
I say that would do it. I don't, and I'm not an IR expert at all. I say that would do it. I'm not positive it would. Would anybody even want to touch that if the Russians go that far? Now, the sanctions would be unbelievable. Like I think even energy prices we wouldn't worry about at that point.
Oh, jeez.
And summer's coming, so the Europeans don't have to have as much gas.
Right.
But it would be, if they demonstrate that they're willing to use TAC nukes, does anybody want to confront that?
Well,
forces on the ground.
Maybe not. Probably not.
You roll in your NATO tanks. So Russia uses TAC nukes on Ukraine. That's essentially crossing the Rubicon, not literally, but figuratively. So you've got a decision. You can either stay out of it and know that the Russians are probably going to stop in Ukraine. I doubt if they're going to go for Poland. Or you can roll in your tanks and see if you can take back part of Ukraine. But they've already demonstrated that they'll use TAC nukes. So there's a risk of them using TAC nukes on you. If they do that, then all of NATO's at war. And in a at least one-sided nuclear war. It spirals out of control.
It continues to spiral. And Russia, see, here's the thing, is that Russia could get stuck in Ukraine, and it could look very bad for them. But at the end of the day, they know that NATO and the EU will do just about anything to stay out of the Eastern European and the Balkan, just that whole region, because it is so messy and it is the endless spiraling. And I really think that they rely on that politically to be like, okay, we're gonna strong arm people, and guess what? We can get a lot of threats, we'll get our economy damaged, but no one's going to actually engage.
Yeah, and I don't think we should. I mean, that is not our business there. It's Russia's front doorstep. We didn't like it when they were going to set up nukes in Cuba. They don't like the idea of a nuclear umbrella extending to their doorstep. I don't blame them. It is fundamentally a European problem, not an American problem. The Europeans stupidly never figured out how to get energy for them, to get energy independence from the Russians, and now they're stuck. They're hooked, and they've got to play ball. And we don't have that problem. We can be completely energy independent if we want to be.